Hello and welcome to another episode of The Inner Estate with Bridget Stuart. I am really thrilled. My guest today is the amazing Sadia. She is the owner, agent, founder of Sadi Means Real Estate in Sewell, New Jersey. She is with the Remax Preferred.
Yes.
Yeah, Remax Preferred in Sewell, New Jersey, which is in South Jersey. In addition to her real estate empire, she also is the founder and owner of an amazing coffee shop that is also an event center, which really ties her to the community. And Sadi, I'm just so excited that you're my guest today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And one of the reasons I'm excited to have you as a guest is clearly you're an entrepreneur and you are a businesswoman that is certainly fearless in terms of you're going to open and create and run not just one business, but I'm even going to say, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to say 2.5, because your coffee shop is also an event venue, right?
Correct.
And there's so many ways that I want to discuss this with you that it's hard for me to pick where I want to start. So I'm going to start with, can you share what inspired you and motivated you to not open just one business, which, by the way, real estate in and of itself, that's pretty demanding. It's pretty full time. It has a tendency to infiltrate all areas of your life, as you know, right? And then also having a coffee shop, an event center. Can you share a little bit with us what inspired you to take on these businesses and make them reality?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually get that question quite often. Entrepreneurship has always been, I think, something that has been in my heart. And I know it sounds cliche, but really it has. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even throughout college, my girlfriends will always say, Sadia, like, I already know. I already know. So, you know, being in the real estate industry for quite some time, as an entrepreneur, we're constantly thinking about just different areas in our life. Entrepreneurs, sometimes we're creatives, should I say,
Right.
our mind
Yes.
racing. So with my husband being an entrepreneur, myself, you're just always thinking about different things to do. We have several other businesses that we do, but for me, honestly, during the midst of the pandemic is when the coffee shop as well as the community events venue was created, not knowing that the pandemic would last as long as it did. And
Right.
if I want to be honest, a coffee shop was not in the making. It was
Mm-hmm.
just I wanted to do a business. I had several other businesses that I was thinking of, and I'm not saying that they're off the table, but sometimes you just don't know how direction will lead, where certain things will go.
Right.
And during the pandemic, I came across a beautiful space. And as I say, as entrepreneurs, we're creative. We're thinking of different ways we can, grow the business, our vision. And seeing the space, it just opened up so many doors for me to say, okay, coffee, community. And instantly my mind went, okay, having coffee, community, having events. And what better way do real estate agents do business sometimes?
That's
Over
right.
coffee.
Yeah. That you're exactly right.
And even just not just agents ourselves, but with our clients.
That's right.
It kind of really all fell together. When I look at my business, I look at it as that everything I'm doing is community. So I'm dealing with clients over coffee. I'm dealing with clients as a real estate agent and hosting events. You're dealing with clients. So all of my
That's right.
businesses are human connection, which I say, although they are all different businesses, they all come together. They
They're
all
all
align.
connected. They are all connected.
It actually
Absolutely.
makes it easier sometimes.
Absolutely. It is. I think that it is brilliant because they are all overlapping and interconnecting at certain points, and they're all standalone businesses on their own. So I find it very intriguing. When you think about, first off, let me jump back here for a second. How very Warren Buffett of you. So Warren Buffett believes when you see everyone acting one way, you choose and act another, right? I know I'm butchering the quote. Someone in the comments put the right quote down. But during the pandemic, when businesses shutting down, people staying home, everyone was like, no, close, in shutdown mode. You were like, I'm going to create a space for connection and socializing and people. And so kudos, because Warren Buffett is, among other things, a genius. And so I don't know if you knew you were following his lead or not, but you definitely did in that regard. And I want to commend you for that.
Yes, I will say it was challenging because I actually opened up October 5th, 2020,
Hmm.
and the world was already kind of filtering to the full shutdown. Everybody was still trying to figure out, okay, will we shut down? What's going on? Where are we
Who's
going?
essential?
Yes, so my location is in a Main Street area. I'm
Hmm.
literally across the street from municipal buildings, courthouse, high school was literally probably 300 feet from me. So the
Hmm.
location is ideal. They had not even closed down. That following December, January is when they said nobody's going back into the office. So imagine opening up and having to shut down.
Wow.
So I would say the challenges I faced, it also made me stronger, but it also made me learn to pivot in my business and businesses.
Hmm.
So, it was a lesson. It may have been a loss, but for others, but I also look at it as a lesson for me in many ways, but in great ways that I learned a
Yes.
lot too.
And I was going to ask you, what did you take away from that time? Did you ever have a thought of, oh, maybe I should shut this down? Or were you always confident that this was meant to be and that you were going to overcome any obstacle, and like share a little bit of that?
Sure, sure. Absolutely. I wouldn't say that I had the thought of shutting down because we did not know that it would last as long. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe 30 days. Okay, maybe 60 days, maybe 90 days. But after I went to almost 2.5 years, I mean,
Yeah,
even in 2023, people were still a little afraid to come out. And like I said, all of my business are human connection. As real estate professionals, we know even with that, we had to pivot with some of us were showing our clients homes on our
that's
video.
right.
Some clients weren't even going into the house. Some sellers only wanted the agent. So
Yep,
many different things that were going on. But there was never a doubt that I wanted to just shut down. It just made me look at, okay, my business model differently. Before, many people are going to the closing table. I
that's
mean,
right.
now you may even get lucky if you get a seller at a closing table. This is in South Jersey. I know some areas are different.
Right.
So, I've actually done a few closings at my location.
Hmm.
I actually work at my location, I
That's
have an
right.
office upstairs. I'm also able to host many of my seminars at my location.
At your location.
I've been able to host networking events at my location. Building through community is something that's very big because there also was a time where, okay, I have this space. How do you bring into the community? I'm also a real estate professional and I can also help community with selling or purchasing homes. So having the space, it allowed me to say, hey, not only is Sadia the owner of a coffee shop and community events venue, but first she's a real estate professional,
Realtor. That's
owns a
right.
coffee shop
That's
and
right.
community events venue. So you look at things differently when you go through those challenges. So it just made me look at, okay, I have this space, utilize it to the fullest.
Right.
So
That's right.
it's many different ways that sometimes things that you turn around and look at the positive of it.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I think it's phenomenal, and it does give you, as you mentioned, all the overlapping, and yet also able to stand alone. I mean, that's I think that that's compelling. If there's let's say a realtor is listening to us right now, and they have had dreams or thoughts of, hey, maybe I should open my own staging company to run concurrent with my sales, or they had a franchise opportunity, or they were asked to be an investor in a car wash. We all have opportunity, right? If an agent out there is thinking, wow, I'd like to be part owner or owner of another business, but I'm scared, what would you share with them?
I think any business have their scary times, right? We as realtors, we live in a market that is up and down.
Mhm.
One thing about real estate, if we go back to 2008 when there was just a huge change in the market, 2012, 2020 was something that we never seen before. I
Never.
mean, at the
Never.
beginning, we were like, okay,
What's
nobody's
going to
selling.
happen?
And 3 months later, you barely could get in a home. So yes, there are definitely scary times. However, when it comes to business, it's just it can be scary, right? But as a realtor in our business, I think we sometimes only see realtors in one way as a realtor, right? And we forget that there's also other, creative ideas or businesses that they want to do. And one thing
Right.
I realize about community and clients, they want to see you as a realtor, but they also like to see what else besides being a realtor that you also do, So I think
That's
people
right.
also they work with me not just because I'm a realtor, but also she's a coffee shop. I love coffee. She hosts events. So they see another part of you that
That's right.
also draws them to you. So I look at it as like people, community, clients, sellers, buyers, they want to see who you are. And sometimes we get stuck in just that realtor mold, which can
You know
be
what I
great.
call it? I call it real estate robot.
Yes. Yes. That's
I just had a listing. I just had a sale. I sell houses, like when it's all, and unfortunately, I love our industry and I love our colleagues. Some of them suffer from realtor robot syndrome, so
yes.
you're definitely not falling into the real estate robot.
And I think it's sometimes what else besides do you do? Like some people, well, I'm not going to say some, many of our clients work with us because of who we are or what we
Yes.
do or what do we
Yes.
have in common, So I will tell someone that if you have an idea, if you have a vision, if you're thinking, I want to open up a business, do it. And our business is so mobile. We can
Yes.
do so much. We're our own we are our own
We're
business. We're
our
a walking
boss.
business for our business.
That's
We are
right.
our boss. So as long as you know how to balance and, work, and it took me time because, opening up a new business, you know, coming from another business and putting them all together. However, if it's something you want to do, you definitely can manage it and just, prioritize and, because the last thing you want to do is just say, okay, I never got a chance to at least see what it can be.
That's right. We typically, when you look at surveys and studies of the elderly, they
Hmm.
regret chances they didn't take,
Absolutely.
businesses they didn't start,
Yes.
jobs they didn't leave, and things they didn't try. It's like
Yes.
yeah. So you're so right on about that. How about we flip the coin? What if there is someone out there that always wanted to get into real estate and yet life, whatever got in the way and they didn't? And now they own another business or they're working another job. What would you advise them?
I love real estate. And so for me, real estate, I always make sure people are very clear because I do so much in my community with my community space in a coffee shop. I make it very clear. Real estate is my career. That's my business.
Correct.
It opens up the doors for you to do other things.
That's right.
If you are in another business and you want to get into real estate, do it.
Do it.
Financially, you know, is great. If you enjoy working with people, it's amazing. The relationships you build is awesome.
Agreed.
So I would just say, of course, you have to work at it because, sometimes it's just with anything, you have to work at it. But I would truly advise I am first a realtor. I'm
Hmm.
first a businesswoman, a realtor that owns a coffee shop and
That's
community.
right.
So, first thing first, you definitely can make the change or the transition over to real estate and get the ball rolling and sell some houses.
Or they could be a dual career. It's
There you go.
difficult, but if you get
Absolutely.
support and someone to help you and, you figure out how to navigate that,
Referral
you can do it.
agent,
That's
referral. It's
right.
so many opportunities in real estate. And I think And I'm always saying real estate industry because a lot of times there's so many opportunities in a real estate industry.
In
Selling homes, helping clients purchase homes. You have investment. So it's all different
all
areas
types
of
of
what
things.
you want to
Even
do.
transactional support and operations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Title, notary. There's so many different things you can do. So yes, I truly advise it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, better to try and know than to not try and wonder.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to thank you so much for. Would you be willing to come back to the interstate again?
Absolutely will.
That would be awesome. So, again, tell everyone where you sell real estate.
Thank you. Yes, I am licensed in New Jersey and as well as Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. That's right.
So we are literally about 15 minutes across the board from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And again, I service all of South Jersey area. And for those in South Jersey area, you're looking at Camden County, Gloucester County, Burlington County, but you may not know those areas, but South Jersey.
Well, very good. And you're at Remax Preferred in Sewell. I am going to put all of your contact information in the description.
Absolutely.
And who can reach out to you?
All can reach out to me
There
if
you
you are
go. Very good.
looking
Yeah.
for a home. If you know anyone looking in the area looking for a home, looking to sell a home, listen, we're all about community over here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being our guest today. And I can't wait to actually come out to visit you and go to your shop
Yeah.
and have some coffee. I am quite the coffee drinker myself, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Sadia, thank you so much for sharing that inspiration with us all.
Thank you.
And I look forward to having you back again as a guest on the Interstate.
Same here.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.